Right on. Let's see what we're dealing with right now. Yeah. Immediate results. I like to see that.
Um, I I thought this game honestly when I first heard about it,
Oh,
I
what was that?
honestly thought this was some kind of tower defense game.
Really?
Yeah,
Man, you were sorely mistaken.
I hate tower defense shit. I don't know, I just don't want to play it. Like it turned me off a lot of games that were otherwise supposed to be good.
Hmm. Let me know if you're getting video, cause
Yeah, I got video.
it keeps wanting to go back to like regular full screen instead of Bordeaux's window, and
No, I got video.
it's screwing me up. All right, we're good. Yeah, this has been the talk of the town for a while.
Yeah, there was a period in time where the Wario games were like the thing we're like supposed to love or something. I don't know
Hmm.
how to explain it. Like the internet was just like, "Have you seen these?" Like every once in a while that just happens. Like, remember this? And anyway, I don't know if this is that was like a few years ago now. I don't know if that's what
Hmm.
spawned this, but this game is a Wario like, which is interesting that that's like a real thing, like
Yeah,
that's possible.
it
Um,
took a long ass time, but it's finally here. It's finally happening. And now, now that Pizza Tower's out, everyone's looking for forward to that other one, Anton Blast. Have you heard of that?
no, but I
It's
did
got
now.
it's a little different. It looks more like a GBA game. It's got like a red guy with a beard. It's coming out soon, I guess.
I played this a little bit on the Steam Deck, and I thought the controls were a little bit unintuitive. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I didn't have enough time to get used to it.
Yeah, well, they do take a little getting used to, but people are um, people are getting really good at it. It's just I find like up and down inputs are hard to or easy to do by accident, and like just the way you have to move fast is very like jerky. Like it's all about pressing the buttons in the right at the right time in the right order.
This is another one of those things that you just can't do in first person,
Oh
or
yeah.
kind of like third person for that matter. Like no one has done it. It's too like Metroid has had multiple 3D outings without being able to do it, even though running fast and breaking through shit is a staple of Metroid. They cannot do it in 3D.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, it does come up in my mind what it would be like to play a 3D game like this,
Oh,
you know,
dang
or
it.
something with a speed booster, and how you would have to design the world around it. Like it's not like you can just add it in; you have to design the entire world around it. But in
Hmm.
2D, you can kind of like make a platformer and then put it in and have it work. But you can't do it in 3D, so no one does it.
Hmm.
Like it's one of these frontiers of 3D game development that haven't been tackled since the beginning of 3D games, which was over 30 years ago. Like they can't, it's something we can't do yet. Be interesting to see somebody like make it work and have it like be fun and not nauseating.
Yeah. Oh,
Imagine
there's
this in first person.
geez, there's a Pepino like mod for Doom actually, which has like the speed up, and
Yeah,
it's really freaking weird.
yeah. We just can. Maybe it's just one of these things humans can't do.
Hmm.
We just don't want to. We just can't do it. Like,
Oh, something I found out is if you beat the tutorial in like 2 minutes, you get something very special. I'm gonna do that real quick.
oh, it's like Demon Souls
Hmm.
beating the tutorial monster when you're not supposed to.
Oh my god. See, I'm pressing a bunch of buttons like by accident, just because just like the stream anxiety alone is making me screw up. But like I got S ranks on all the first world and some of the second world, so I'm like kind of used to the controls, so it's a pretty good one to get used to it. Well,
I wonder if the availability of the Steam Deck is like hindering developers' desire to have Switch ports. You ever think of that? Because I'm starting to see people just think of the Steam Deck as the Switch 2.
uh-huh.
Have you noticed this? Like people saying like, "Oh, this Switch game leaked, which means it's already on the Steam Deck." They didn't say it's already on the PC. They said it's already on the Steam Deck. So
Yeah,
that means they're
that's
like
a little.
subconsciously, people are subconsciously thinking of it as a Switch companion. It's really weird. You'll see like Nintendo Life and Nintendo dedicated websites like mention like the fact that these emulators run Switch stuff on the deck, like not the PC.
Well,
It's really weird seeing official outlets like mention the Steam Deck and stuff. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's the future.
jeez.
I don't know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff on Steam I want to play, but I know I'm just not going to play unless I had a deck, which is sad. But that's just how I am on PC. Like, there's certain things I'm going to do on PC. Like, I'm going to mess around on the desktop. I'm going to waste time, and I'm going to just work on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and you know, so I'm probably not just gonna play through like whatever on my desktop. But if I had a deck, I probably would,
Uh-huh.
which is annoying. But I think that's probably what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah, but like I think the deck only sold like uh well, last I checked they were celebrating 1 million units sold, so I mean it's not that popular. It's very
Uh,
popular for like a um for portable PC because it's just competing with a lot of like Chinese stuff.
the
And
reason why it's special, I think, is partly because like when people buy a piece of hardware, they're like also they're like opting in to the ecosystem. Like
mhm.
people often now I see like before they buy some piece of hardware, they're often on the internet asking like, "What's the ecosystem like? Like, what is the install base? Like, what can I expect from support?" And when you have official Steam hardware, you just have that guarantee of okay, I'm going to have this ecosystem of lots of other people who are willing to help me, and lots of compatibility stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that would make me like not trust like that Asus ROG or whatever, or those other handheld PCs. Like I would rather buy a Steam Deck that's half as powerful as an Asus ROG just because I have the environment of Steam,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good
I
point.
still would. Like
But
if
like
I had the option.
even so, like my favorite thing about the Steam Deck so far is like the software support. It's like
Exactly, right?
it's been getting up tons of updates. Like anytime there's a problem, it's like fixed within a month. And like
That's yeah, that's because yeah,
I don't
you
need to
have this
file
really
reports or anything, so
no, you have this really robust install base of Steam users who have transitioned onto it from Steam. Like, so it's like you have the combined knowledge of all this Steam stuff, not just Steam Deck stuff. Like, it's it's good like that. Like the install base, the environment you're in, the infrastructure of the whole thing is worth so much more than just raw power, which is interesting.
mhm.
Besides, I mean, if we're honest with ourselves, the most popular games, the games people like, the games that had some kind of artistic intent behind it, they all look like shit. Like they all run on the Switch, and I mean the Steam Deck. You know what I
Uh
mean? Well, like why? Who the hell is gonna be playing Redfall? Like
yeah.
really? I'm just using because it's a recent example, but I mean really, like people like this. People build a PC for $3,000 and then play a game that looked like it came out in the GBA.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
that's just a fact. Like
Uh-huh.
it's just the way things are going now. Like so I mean I think the future probably lies with um like the Steam Deck and like whatever Switches. I mean whatever Nintendo's next Switch is like, which is rumored to be really close, right? But yeah, it's I don't know how far you can keep pushing like the PS5 like RTX 4000 series, whatever. I don't know how much further this can really go. Like before it does, not before you're getting diminishing returns on graphics, but before it does not make money. That's the thing, right? Like it's just we're really close to just huge AAA games, just period, not making any money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, they're having to go on Game Pass and they're having to go on different services, so that
Yeah.
to obscure the costs. That's what that is. Like it's to obscure the bottom line, I think. Like, oh, we can get on Game Pass, get a flat payout from Xbox or whatever, and just not worry about it. And I mean, I can't be the only one who's noticed the decline in quality of TV shows and streaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I think that I don't want that to happen to video games, where a company is just like, we've got 14 original games coming to Game Pass this week,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
just like, whatever the hell.
well, hold on a second. Check this out. Like, you know how I have about a minute left on the clock? That
Yeah,
seems like a lot, right? Well, watch
yeah.
this. I could just do it again for like extra points.
That's cool. I just
Yeah.
noticed that.
So like all the bonus items come back, and all the enemies that spawn in during the escape sequence come back. And
Yeah, yeah. Huh.
so yeah,
It is.
this is how you get the
That's
S rank.
that's a very Wario-like thing, in retrospect.
Uh-huh. It seems
It
like
reminds me of.
like Pizza Tower seems like if they made like Wario Land 4 and then they kept going in that direction and they built on it, this is what would come out of that. So
That's also. It's probably not. It's probably not random chance that he's Italian either.
oh yeah.
Right? That's probably not.
But wasn't
Probably
Wario
means something.
German?
I don't remember, but
I think
I
like
know,
I think Martinet said that. He's like supposed to
have
be
no
German
idea.
or something. But like it
I
doesn't matter.
associate,
It's like
no, I associate these plumbers with Italy, right? Like it's Wario. I mean, if Wario is an alternate Mario, then he's an alternate plumber, which makes him an alternate Italian. Whatever that is.
yeah, that wasn't quite an S rank. That was pretty good.
Now, does this game have a mini game where between stages you can assemble your own pizza?
No, there's no mini games. There's no
Dang it.
there's like none of the gimmicks and stuff that were in like the Game Boy Color Wario Land games.
Man, it needs a thing where you can stop and relax. I love those things. Like
Uh-huh.
a hectic game where between stages you can stop and waste time.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
this should the pizza items you collect, you should be able to like arrange them onto a ZA and take the picture and with a QR code
stop.
or something. I don't know. Take a selfie with your pizza. I
Hold on.
don't know.
I'm gonna turn on. See, like, if you're doing a bunch of super jumps by accident, like I was, then you can just, like, map it to a button. It's not a big deal. Oh, oops. See, like, another thing about this game is it's not really like Wario, like, in total. It's just, like, this guy really liked the escape sequence, like, speed running aspect of Wario Land 4 and made an entire game based on that. And, because, like, Wario itself is like, a lot slower in general. Like, the first three games are, like, nothing like this, so...
I know, the first time I looked at this, it did remind me a little bit of Super Meat Boy. Just how fast and frenetic he is. Like, that kind of, like, he's fast is part of the gameplay. That kind of idea. Like, was kind of in Super Meat Boy. Kind of one of those early, like, big deal indie platformers.
Yeah, yeah. But I think what Meat Boy really brought to the table was that wall jumping shit that like every single indie platformer from that decade had. Know what I mean?
I know. I know. There was a point in time where if you didn't have wall jumping, you weren't a game.
Uh-huh. Oh,
It's
whoops.
kind of weird. But Wario was good though back in the day because it was nothing like Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Why it's good. Like
Yeah, it
that's
was like so
important to be like
experimental,
that.
and like every game was different too.
I know. I'm
Like,
trying to play the one that came out on the Switch online, like the second Game Boy game or something,
mm-hmm.
and I can't even figure out what I'm doing. I can't understand anything.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where I am or why I'm going anywhere. I can't
Huh.
understand the game in the least.
The second one?
Um, yeah, I think it's the third one. I can't remember. It's the one that's on the Switch that came out
Oh.
with the Game Boy games.
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know.
I think it was 3.
I don't know, but I really like that GBA one because I have it on my 3DS and I play it all the time.
Jeez, stop doing that. They don't give Wario 2 enough attention. Like that's still my favorite honestly. Just cause like I don't know what Wario 3 doesn't have coins in it. That's a
Yeah.
big deal to me. Like it should have there should be coins to pick up.
Um, like, it's such a who came up with the idea of when you get to the end of the stage, you need to run backwards to escape?
I don't know.
Like
A
you're Indiana
genius?
Jones stealing
Yeah.
something. Like you're stealing something. It feels so Wario-ish. You don't realize it until you're playing it.
Uh-huh.
Um,
A genius is who came up with that idea.
like somebody should mod Mario World so that it has an escape sequence where
That'd be
you need
great.
to go backwards to the you have to when you get to the end goal, you have to run all the way back.
That's another thing. Like, if you kill enough enemies, you like build up charge, and then when you taunt, you kill every enemy on the screen.
Yeah, I like the taunting in this. I was just mashing the taunt before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, you should be able to put these onto a pizza at the end of the stage.
Yeah. There is
And, like,
there is one level
sec-
that like did you get to the golf minigame in Wario Land 3?
No.
Well, that's a big minigame in Wario Land 3, and there's one level based on that. Just turns it into a regular level where you're like you're hitting a golf ball through the whole thing.
It's surprising, like, how many people sleep on these games, but you always see them on Twitter and stuff saying, "Why did no one tell me?" After it comes out officially on the Switch. I
Uh-huh.
remember when the Game Boy games came to the Switch, people were like legit saying like, "Oh my God, these freaking Game Boy Mario games are amazing." They were. They're
Hmm.
original. They're really original and creative and fun, unlike the mainline stuff sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone was like talking about how awesome they were on Twitter, and so they were saying, "Why didn't you tell me?" And I remember just thinking, oh, everybody probably did, but for some reason, people just don't want to emulate stuff. I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what like it. By this point in time, you would think that it wouldn't matter anymore if things had an official release for people to play it, but it does matter. I don't know why it matters,
Mhm.
but it does. It
I
seems
know
like
what you
people actually will wait for the official release of a 30-year-old Game Boy game. Like
Yeah.
it is weird that that's a thing. There's a lot of things that don't
Oh,
seem to make
whoops.
sense, but operate like the market just reveals it itself. Like the fact that when things get an official re-release, the original version on eBay goes down in price,
Yeah.
not up, meaning that there's people who were waiting to play it on original hardware for the first time.
Yeah, and they
Which
were,
it seems
and some
it
of
seems
them
to
were
fly
willing
in
to
the
pay
face.
that price.
Yeah, it seems to fly in the face of what you would expect. Like, I don't know. So I wait now for an official release for the eBay version of the original hardware release to go down. Like, it's very strange. Like, so I'll just be there. Oh, whatever is getting a re-release. Oh, good. That means the eBay version is going to be
Oh, I
half
wonder if I
off.
can do this.
I don't know why that is. And if you try to explain to somebody who didn't know, they wouldn't understand because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like I'm sure there were people like remember when Earthbound was like $600? Like
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some people who bought that just to play it because it wasn't on
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
It's wild to think about. Oh, I'm not gonna make this at all. I made a terrible mistake. I love like the how the escape sequence has like this iconic music, and then like when you do lap 2, it changes like to something completely different. It feels amazing. Like the first escape sequence is like the main theme, and then this is like some kind of like nothing else in the game.
Now put those ingredients on your pizza.
I think I can do this now, yeah. I'm just gonna fight the boss early. It was also interesting, like, looking back at the prototypes of this. Like, the developers really open about the development process and everything, and like made sure to like build an audience before it came out, and
Yeah.
so he put out like a bunch of different prototypes, and like the first few were just awful in hindsight. Like they're not actually something I would play, and it's pretty neat to see. Like you
I
can
like
see it,
that
you
when
can see it getting refined over time.
yeah, I like that particularly, like on Kickstarter, for example, when it like there's already this built-in guarantee that it's coming out because it's either far along, has a bunch of demos, or has a built-in fan base already. Like it makes it, feel better to actually buy it. Like there's this, like you probably shouldn't announce stuff unless there's something you can play. So I feel like if you're developing something and people can play it while you're making it, that's probably a bonus.
Oh yeah,
Like
because
it's
like I think for indie games, like community is a big aspect.
yeah,
If you can
people are,
get people setting up discords and subreddits for your game before it's out, then that's a good that's a good boost.
it's probably a lot of that is probably like because people are like spooked on indie games never coming out, which
Oh
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
common enough to like make people worry about it. Like like we're never gonna have Charles Barkley 2, which still bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
Like because it looks so cool. Like this weird isometric uh, run and shoot RPG thing. Remember that? The way Barkley 2 looked originally looked really cool. We're never gonna get it. It's totally abandoned. Hang it. Is there any way he can just release Barkley 2, like the whole any legalese regarding the game to the public to just see if somebody just actually makes Barkley 2? Like, is that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think they released like what they had of the game, but nothing really came of that. And like that early demo they released is still floating around.
Yeah, the janky demo
Uh-huh.
with the G.A.N.K.Y demo or whatever.
Yeah.
it'd probably never be as good anyway if it wasn't him making it. Tales of Games or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Strange name.
It's like you need a strange sense of humor. You need like a friggin' shameless sense of humor to make something like that. I don't know what it is. It's just like it's full of ideas, and like they're all executed competently. And
It's whoever that guy is, Tales of Games. It's obvious that he's played like so many other games. Like the way it's every little thing is some kind of like in joke about the quirks and inadequacies of games that came before. Like you can just like the save guy, the guy that you talk to when you save the game. He'll go on forever about how subs are better than dubs.
yeah, forever.
Like and and there's so many there's so many things ripped out of like old nasty like paint by numbers JRPGs. It's so funny.
And like,
but it's all played completely straight. Like it's
yeah. That was that save guy was my introduction to the word VidCon. Oh, I don't call them video game consoles. I call them VidCons. I don't really remember how that went. It's been a long ass time, but man, I gotta play that again on stream.
Yeah, we haven't played Barkley 1 on stream or on video. It's not that long, and it's actually kind of fun to play.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea for like a full playthrough.
Hoops or whatever the heck his name was. His magic attacks aren't magic; they're zobbers, which is German for magic.
There's, yeah.
So it's playing into that idea that Japan used to have fun stealing the German name for things, like that you would only know if you played a shitzillion of these old RPGs.
Yeah, yeah.
We summoned the Pizza Tower algorithm somehow because in the comments now it's safe 1444 Pizza Tower fun, so funny. Pepper kill pizza, John. Ah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Lario, or whatever. What's your favorite Pizza Tower meme? Mine is the picture of Peppino with his dick out, just kind of jelking in the dark in front of his TV.
Oh.
That's what I used for the thumbnail.
Oh my god. How does that fit into the Spanish canon, though?
Well,
the
it's
Spanish
very
Pizza Tower canon.
It's very thorough, very very nuanced.
Who has the highest power level in Pizza Tower?
You know, it's not Pizza Face, surprisingly. It's like the vigilante having absorbed all of Peppino's companions, you know, in the secret ending.
But does Peppino, like, does he unlock any new forms though in the Spanish canon, not the Western canon?
Well, I mean, aside from, well, I don't know if we can say it on stream, but he turns black and it's a little iffy, but aside from that. Oh, here we go. Oh, wait.
Oh my god, it's pizza time.
I'm just noticing myself, like, you gotta... To get a good rank in this, you gotta friggin', like, embed the level design into your friggin' synapses.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm remembering all the secrets in these levels, and I'm not even trying.
That's because just moving forward through something is easy, but going backwards is hard. because just inverting it in your mind is really difficult.
Ah, come on.
So it requires like a different level of knowledge than just going forward. Like if this game was completely linear stages that just went one after the other and you just ran through them, you'd beat the game without remembering a single thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like so in Wario going backwards, it's just like you have to remember it so much harder.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can't just going forward's easy, but doing the same thing backwards is actually it's not twice as hard. It's not linearly. It doesn't go up linearly. It goes up exponentially. It's like squared hard. It's like how it's like the difficulty of going forward squared going backwards. That's what it feels like.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not this one. I got Chivo, whatever that is.
Yeah, you should be able to have a little Chivo museum where you can arrange carefully your Chivos and then take a selfie with Pepino and then
Well,
post it.
there is a Chivo room.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, at least there's that.
Remember when Castlevania Symphony of the Night had a room that you could like decorate with little pieces of furniture for no reason? Do you remember that?
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah,
so
yeah.
strange. Like, why is this here? Like, it's something
Here's
you
a
can,
secret.
something you can do. Oh,
There's a lot of stuff they cut out. Like these are all enemies that are in the final game, and they just slap them in little secret rooms in the hub world.
you should have put in an a disgruntled developer secret room for a developer that isn't real.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
have
that's a
that be the
great
character.
idea. Yeah, yeah.
I know that is funny because I was thinking of you know that game Golf Story.
Mm-hmm.
The sequel, Sports Story, came out or whatever, and there's a secret developer room that allegedly developers who weren't the main developers snuck into the game, allegedly, and they kind of like talk shit on the main developer. It's really weird. Like there's some kind of infighting in that game that made it into a secret developers room
Uh-huh.
that they were upset about, and I think it may have even been patched out. Which means it's real.
What? Oh, that's
I
weird.
think there's
Okay.
I could be wrong about this, but there's something weird was going on with that game. But it just got me thinking about putting in disgruntled developer rooms into the game and make up their stories to be really, really extreme,
Mm-hmm.
but fake. Like,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have it
yeah.
be funny. Like, so one of these stages, the background should spell out something like, "I'm not getting paid enough. I need help," for no reason. Only if you look at it really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not. But it's nothing.
Oh.
You could also lead people down the garden path with fake shit like an A or a G if you put in, "This game was not developed with clean room code. We stole something from this other game." And then people would look it up and to find nothing. There's no other game.
Oh man,
Like
yeah.
stuff like that. Like you could really trick people hard if you were subtle enough about it, and enough people were looking at it. Here's this thing that got popular for a while. This idea of like having the a certain area of the level be like in silhouette. Remember when that like became a thing, and like the first time I ever saw it was in Oddworld on the PlayStation.
Oh
But,
yeah.
it showed up. It showed up in a bunch of different things. I don't know what was first, but it's kind of cool. Like I know Donkey Kong Country did it, like Donkey Kong Country Return. I remember people saying the like silhouette levels of that look particularly cool.
Yeah, yeah.
we did somehow take the time to beat Tropical Freeze on co-op ourselves. We ended up doing that. Remember that?
Yeah, that was good.
Will you be able to play through the whole single player of Street Fighter 6 co-op like that?
That'd be
Like
neat,
with
yeah.
simultaneous, like, remember how in the demo, like, there's 2 versus 2 at the same time?
Hmm.
That's pretty crazy. It'd be cool if you could do that whole thing co-op with your own custom characters.
Yeah. Man, Street Fighter 6 is such a step up.
Yeah, they really. After 5, they were like, "Oh my god, this is the same as 4. We can't keep
Yeah.
doing that."
I feel
Like,
I feel appealed to with this game because
it
like
has things to do for single player.
yeah, like 5 wasn't my thing. It had become a sport. It was like like they just ditched everything that the casuals like. And
Yeah.
now they're doing stuff that they never did before. And it looks cool.
It's because Mortal Kombat was selling. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
last few Mortal Kombat games had tons and tons of single player stuff
Uh-huh.
to unlock and things to do and crazy shit like that.
Most likely.
The worst one I ever saw though was like, remember when Marvel 3 came out and the original launch version had nothing in it. There was nothing. It was just like multiplayer, arcade mode. That's it. Remember how barren that felt the first time it came out? That was weird. Also, and Street Fighter 6 has like anime fighter Marvel controls if you select like modern. You notice that it has like the 1, 2, 3, 4 button thing that like Marvel had.
Yeah.
If you leave it on modern, that's
Yeah,
kind of
it
interesting. I-
feels like that too.
yeah, it's kind of like an anime fighter now.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I turned it off because I don't understand it. But I made it work like the Super Nintendo controller again, where it's just like low punch, mid punch, heavy punch, low
Yeah.
kick, mid kick, heavy kick, and then you just tap like 2 buttons together for a throw, and then another 2 for the drive, and then another 2 for the other drive thing, like
Yeah.
or whatever they got in this game. That's
I'm not
supposed to kinda
sure.
work like a
Yeah, I'm not sure Street Fighter really needed that stuff. I think in my eyes, like Street Fighter was the accessible fighting game always.
Yeah.
And then like the anime fighters in Marvel were like the in-betweens. Like they're the fun fighters, like the ones that
Yeah.
you never really figure out, but it's a lot of fun actually trying. And then Guilty Gear is like the extremely hard one.
Yeah, and the other like anime offshoots that are like in that sphere. Like there's a lot of them to name, but basically like Street Fighter 6, like it has drive. It's just like a 4 has like focus, which kind of was inherited by the Smash Bros versions of those characters, where you just like charge up an attack and you can be attacked while you're doing it, so you kind of like super armor. But like 6 kind of has almost like the drive thing is a little bit like the Street Fighter 3's parry, which I think is Street Fighter 3 parry, I think, was the exact perfect amount of complexity for Street Fighter. I think that's why Street Fighter 3 is the best one, because it's like there's actually like it has the mechanic of the game is parry. If you press forward at the right time, you parry. That's it.
Yep.
There's like not much else. So it's got the skill ceiling is insanely high, but the floor is really low.
Yeah.
All you got to remember is that you can parry stuff, and
Yeah.
it actually makes the game extremely complicated but easy to play for people who just start. So that we were, if only we could get a Street Fighter 3 too. Also in Street Fighter 3, what was cool is that you pick your super like at the character select. That should be back. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you know what they can do, and you know, okay, this is my super. It's just quarter circle twice, and then 2 punches or whatever. Okay, easy. Like that's Street Fighter 3 is like it's like deceptively like hard, but it's also deceptively easy, and it looks incredible. Street Fighter 3 still looks amazing.
Well, it's important. Like, it doesn't really matter how hard a fighting game is. It's important that you can just pick it up and sort of figure it out. Like,
Yeah, you can do that with 3.
if you pick it up and you know what button does what, and like the average player who's just starting out should be thinking like, if I want to do a medium kick, I press this button. It's really that simple.
Anime fighters though kind of do confuse that because in a way it's a little bit more confusing because anime fighters they don't have kick and punch. They have like attack, special. And if I mash one attack button, I get an auto combo. So it's actually like really different, but it's like it may not be as intuitive as it looks. I don't know. But it is strange in Street Fighter when you can like Street Fighter 6 when I realized I could do like the Dragon Ball Fighters like auto combo shit.
Yeah. I'm also not fond of our auto combos. Like I've decided that I'm anti auto combo because it just like it confuses things more when like maybe just make more moves combo into each other. Like it's kind of the same as making every normal combo into each other, except like you're not pressing the buttons. It's weird.
Yeah. I don't mind the whole idea of anime fighters having like everybody just has quarter circle. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I don't like I do not like full circle stuff. I don't understand it. I like quarter circle backward. I can do Shoryuken, and a lot of people can't. That's fine. But I also like charge characters. Just give me that. Like, don't give me the freaking Balrog, who full circles shit. What the hell is that?
Oh, whoops.
Why is that still a thing? God dang it! I hate that. That's the one thing I don't understand.
Yeah.
I can't do full circle attacks, so I just don't play those characters like Dudley and that. Like, I just don't do it. I think Dudley is full circle. I don't remember if he's a charge character or not.
Yeah, Dudley did have full circles. No, he didn't.
Okay.
Or did he? No, I don't think so.
Because Zangief and Balrog, I think, were the two early like full circle characters that I just couldn't even think about.
Yeah. But yeah, like the Dragon Ball fighters, like everything's like half circle. That's great.
Yeah.
If you can get away with that, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can just get away with quarter circle forward, quarter circle backward, that's probably the best. Even though I'm biased towards charge characters, which some people don't like. But whatever, I'm willing to give it up.
Pepino's already in Mugen too. Like, I don't know if they were fast or if these things were just made a long time ago and I'm now noticing after the game's out. But yeah, a lot of Pizza Tower attention, a lot of attention this game's getting.
I was at the grocery store yesterday and I got 2 big bottles of olives. Thinking about doing a pizza tomorrow. I don't know.
Oh.
Might do it.
Yeah.
Might do it. I should probably make a video about it. I made that video about how does curry work.
Oh yeah.
Which I like the title of this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of these days I'll do how does pizza work. I don't know, because I can do it from scratch good enough that people like think it's like some restaurant. I figured it out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I feel like I should try your curry at some point because
just try to copy it. That video though, it's interesting. That video didn't work out that good. Like it didn't taste right because I was distracted. I couldn't.
Okay.
I had like stream anxiety trying to make that one, and wasn't that good. That's what's so weird about it. Like I followed it exactly how I do it, but having the camera, it was just like I wasn't stirring it fast enough, and I couldn't concentrate on the camera. But because you're not supposed to leave it, like it gets gritty if you leave it. You got to stir it, and weird. And I don't know. It's a little bit messed up, but it's a good start, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Thankfully, it's not as hard to make pizza.
Oh.
Like it's not. It looks like it's harder, but it's not. It's
no, pizza's a staple. It's effortless.
It's
hard to do well. I'd say. But
Yeah, it's like I can do it like pretty good most of the time. I have a mess up like I don't know, like 1 in 10 times. But I find that the single biggest thing that screws up pizza is the crust.
yeah.
And you don't think it when you just eat it. Because when you buy it, you're taking for granted that the crust works, but I find that like when you make it yourself, there's there's a distinct chance that the crust is going to be messed up. It's like it's so weird like cuz crust can be rubbery, it can be like that. You ever get that yucky crust where the very bottom of the crust is hard and
Whatever.
above it is not, and you got to like pull on it to eat it, and it's gross, and it's like ugh, I've had some really shitty crusts, but I kind of got it figured out how to make a crust that does not stick to the pan. It comes right off. It's got crispy edges. It's thin and not super bready, and I kind of got that done. Kind of.
Now look at this. Look at this classic theme. A spaceship with filled with cows. Who started this idea?
Based. I don't know. That's been a thing since like the 40s or something.
Yeah.
Farmers talking about their cows getting mutilated or whatever. And for some reason, aliens are interested in cows. I don't know. But I've seen it in Spyro. I've seen it in a whole bunch of other things like that.
I think like Earthworm Jim did it too.
It's in Majora's Mask.
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Remember how there's aliens that look like the Flatwoods monster that show up to try to steal the cows or whatever?
Yeah.
And it's kind of creepy because if you mess it up, whoever that girl, I forget what her name is.
Yeah, they
at
get
the,
brainwashed.
ranch,
Yeah.
yeah, they get all dizzy and whoa, it's horrible. They get like permanently like brain scorched
Yeah.
if you don't do it right. It's horrible. Yeah, it wasn't Destroy All Humans. Silky Wilkie. I should have said that because I used to play that, but I never got the HD remaster or whatever. Yeah. Destroy All Humans came out in a time where I was willing to just play anything that was open world enough and just let me cause havoc. There was a point in time in my life where that was just amazing.
Oh.
This game must be styling right now because we've attracted 3 different unique commenters here, which never happens.
Yeah, it's doing numbers. Oh,
See what I mean? No one gives a shit about AAA games.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, people just
can't-
want to play like MS Paint,
can't-
Game Boy, Wario.
Yeah, you can't force people to care. Like you can't, people want something that's fun. It's the only AAA game that felt like it had organic support recently was Elden Ring. One way to tell if your support is organic is if your memes feel organic. Like if you have memes that are generated fast or funny
I don't know what to
and
do.
feel organic, that means your game has support, right?
Yeah.
Like you see something that comes out and there's not a single meme, no one's playing it. It's a totally artificial support. It's not real. Memes are how like the subconscious of the player base emergently tells you that it's good. It's interesting how that works, but that's kind of what has happened in the internet age. Yeah, Endgame was the original PC classic back in high school, and N actually got re-released on a few different pieces of hardware. I think there's a DS game and a PSP game.
Oh,
I own
yeah,
the PSP game.
I own
I did
3
play
versions of N.
Yeah, I did play a lot of N. N was cool. Kind of those early like, was N in Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was a lot of these like killer app like Flash games that kind of evolved into real games like Alien Hominid and that. Yeah, there was a lot of that back in the day, and like you can kind of see how the modern indie game kind of evolved from that. Like we had those early Flash games, then we had like Super Meat Boy, and then it kind of evolved into this new environment of like PC indie games that are a riff on like an old genre. and they're usually really technically proficient.
Hmm. There's another one out now that's getting a lot of talk. Cassette Beasts. It's a Pokemon clone.
But yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I never played it though or watched a video, but I saw like the artwork for it.
It's in Godot engine.
Okay.
That's got me interested.
All right.
I don't know why, but
Yeah, Celeste reminds me of Endgame. Yeah, I've never played Celeste, but I remember it getting like a zillion different like accolades and whatever. But I never actually played it.
yeah, I own Celeste. It's
Is it
really
fun? What
tight.
is it?
Like it's extremely tight, and like
Is it
yeah,
one
it's
of
just
those
like the ultimate execution platformer.
Is it one of those like those types of platformers that feel like they're in like these cramped areas? Like you know what I mean? Like kind of like a dungeon platformer or something. You ever see
Uh,
those? Kind of like like V, that game, like really
no,
tight air,
no.
tight areas, like really tight areas that require execution.
Well, I mean, I guess it would be like that in a way, but I mean, just think Meat Boy. It's like
Okay, well,
it's a Meat Boy. That's all it is.
yeah, kind of like these like these like single map challenge rooms kind of type thing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you know
but
what I
like
mean?
a
Yeah.
level
Yeah.
consisting of multiple rooms, and then
Yes. Okay.
there's like
Okay.
optional items that you can get that make the platforming harder. And then they're
No,
actually like
yeah.
they're um they're like extremely hard bonus levels that you get by I forget how, like I think it's finding something in a level. You unlock like the B side, and
Yeah.
Meat Boy had that too. So same shit.
No, I never played Dust. It was like a classic particle simulator game. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I remember like looking up like physics-based like particle simulation games where you could just like drop sand into a funnel and stuff like that. Like, is that what Dust is like? Did you ever play that, Dust?
No.
Okay, I never played that either.
I've stopped going fast because
Um,
my knowledge has run out.
I hope Sonic never has to say that. I have stopped running fast.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I will take my time from here on out.
I will take my time. It's like that picture from like a million years ago where like there was these memes around drawing shitty MS Paint Sonics. Gotta go fast. And then somebody did one with Mario where it's just I will take my time. But I still think it's funny.
Yeah, I still think about that. Yeah, it's good. Would you believe that this stupid chicken is actually from a PS1 game?
What the hell, really?
Yes, it's a crossover character. That's why it says
What?
That's why it says featuring Mort the Chicken at the at the beginning. It's Mort the Chicken from the PS1 game Mort the
Yeah.
Chicken. What the hell?
Holy crap.
Like,
They should have got one of the Floigan Bros from Floigan Bros on the Dreamcast or whatever.
oh yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
Floigan.
They
What
they
the
should
hell's
have got
that?
they should have got one of the characters from Pen Pen Triicelon on their Dreamcast.
Oh yes, yes. When Silk Song drops, I will waste my days in the world of the bugs again. You can waste your life away in the world of the bugs with the Everlasting Sapling, Bug Fables. If you want to do that right now,
I
there's
thought
there's Bug Core right now.
I thought you were going to say Redfall.
No, no. Yeah. I played the original Hollow Knight, and it's fun. I thought it was like too long or something. It's like long-winded. I don't know. There's such a thing as too big, but I preferred Axiom Verge to Hollow Knight, to use like a contemporary of Hollow Knight. But like I'm still like I've been replaying Axiom Verge 2 just accidentally for a few days now. Hasn't Silksong been like in development hell since forever?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of, wasn't it like DLC for Hollow Knight originally, and then kind of became a sequel?
Oops.
And then every time there's a Nintendo Direct or anything like that, everyone's saying, "Oh, is Silksong going to be here? Is this going to be the one?" And then it never happens.
Ah, never mind. I'm not. There you go. Let's go this way. Maybe the real Silksong was like the 80 hours we spent playing Hollow Knight along the way, or something like that.
Wow, that's so stupid to say. Like maybe the real sequel was the original game we played all along. That's what you just said.
Maybe they're no. It's a way of saying that Hollow Knight is so big that it's like two games, right?
That's right. That's right. Maybe the real Pizza Tower was the Wario games we played along the way.
Well, I mean, you're right in a sense, right?
And then we all walk off into the sunset holding hands. What? Maybe the real Mario Odyssey 2 was the Mario 64 mods we played along the way. Maybe. There's another game, speaking of old games that people just want to play and don't give a crap about new shit. Mario 64, continuously trending all the time. Nobody wants to play anything else. Anyone play Magic? No, I've never played that card game, Magic. I don't know. But I've been amongst people who said they played it, and I was like, okay, I don't know what this is.
Oh. Did you hear that, that thing where, the, Wizards of the Coast, like, approached a guy, like, they send ninjas to a guy's house because he, like, legally bought a pack of cards early?
Oh. No, but that sounds... The way cards are now, in terms of, like, speculation, is... I can see why that stuff would start happening. This insane stuff. Because it's like... People are speculating on these cards, like, it's so... I don't know what's going on. Like, I think... I may be mistaken, but I think in Japan, there was some store that, like, stopped selling Pokemon cards to adults. Because, they just knew if you were an adult, it was just going on eBay or whatever. Like, and it was just gonna screw up,
my
like,
god.
I don't...
Yeah.
It's something like that. I probably don't have all the details, but... It is starting to drive me insane. Like what happened where like the speculation market finally came for like my shit, and it's annoying because if I'm on eBay, I don't want to. I can either buy we can pay $70 for the loose disc without the manual or a box, or I can pay $3,000 for a sealed version of the game in a plastic case, graded, bolted shut with everything in it for 11 grand. Take your pick. Like,
yeah.
Why is there like no middle ground? I think it's because people are buying these things just to sell it. Like, and I can't believe some of these prices. Like, trying to like honestly send your copy of, I don't know, Mario World away to get graded, and it's just like, oh wow, it's in the box. This not rare game at all. It is now graded by whoever the hell, and it's like $2 grand now. I don't understand why this happened.
I think that's always been the place. I think that's always been the case for NES games.
Allegedly, with cards, people are apparently opening packs, taking the good cards, and actually resealing them and selling them for full price. I've heard this.
Hmm.
That seems really insane. Like they figured
Yeah.
out how to open it back and then carefully reseal it, sell it, and then people are noticing that they're not getting any rare cards anymore. I mean,
That is
I don't know.
that
I've
is
heard this.
devilish.
I know. I've heard it. Horrible.
Oh, oops.
I just noticed the like description. Combuskengaming. That stupid Pokemon.
Yeah. I love Combusken.
I
Is
know. At one point in our lives, I remember we decided that like Combusken was like just peak like autism. Like
yeah.
if you like this Pokemon a lot, you were insane or autistic. Like I remember laughing at this. It's like an evolution form of one of the starters from Gen 3 that nobody gives a shit about.
Hmm. He just looks stupid. He looks like he doesn't have much going on up there.
Stop beating up Master Fake and Frylock. Yeah. This game does kind of look like a little bit like Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You remember that?
Hmm.
Like this it was this old cartoon where characters were like food. We definitely need more shows that star food as characters.
Yeah. Kind of writes itself. There you go. Now, one of my favorite things about this game probably is that fact that when you're running towards an enemy at full speed, it plays a Wilhelm scream
Oh my god.
every time. It never gets old. Because, like, how could it get old? Ah.
I've never seen 12-ounce mouse. But,
Oh, 12-ounce man. Yeah, I've seen a bit of that. I just
Never seen
remember interpreting it as a fever dream and thinking, like, I'm not going to think this is real, like, 10 years down the line.
in my opinion, 12-ounce mouse was the most avant-garde show. Well, I'll have you
Oh.
know, there's also Xavier Renegade Angel,
Yes,
which
yes.
is a,
Well,
which is the best TV show overall.
I mean, that's not even the same ranking system. You can't even class it amongst these other shows.
Yeah, it's in its own rank. It's in X rank for Xavier.
Yeah,
You can't rank it with anything else. You need even more IQ to watch than Rick and Morty. Frankly, in order to watch, I mean, honestly, you need to have a really high IQ to understand Rick and Morty. So, I mean, frankly, I'm IQ'd out of it. I'm not allowed. I can't get into the IQ bracket to watch Rick and Morty, so I can't watch it. I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough. True and Drinky Crow. I don't know why I can't speak English. I tried to read Crow with Crow and Crew. Drinky Crow Show. Get the N rank. Oh my god, I just realized that Pizza Tower looks like Super Jail.
Oh, it does. Yes.
Yeah, because it has the MS Paint like
Oh,
shittiness
whoops.
to it. Like it has like the I just drew this in MS Paint look.
Hmm. If they ever remake Super Jail, they gotta, like, you know, max out the MS Paint look. Just make it like low resolution. Like, put it on a CRT, put it on VHS, and compile it that way.
Yeah, not enough people are taking the file that they make for the episode and playing it on and then porting it backwards onto a tape, playing it on a CRT, and then recording the CRT, and then taking that file and sending that to Adult Swim or whatever.
Hmm.
Not enough people are doing that. How come you can't have a show that is literally recorded on our CRT monitor and then broadcast to you that way? Let's get that trick going. Low res like Ed, and Eddie. Yeah, Ed, and Eddie like intentionally looks like shit. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
It's Ed, and Eddie for whatever reason has a very strong staying power. People still care about it. We're like where we are. We never really got that. Like it was one of those things where like you had to get it on TV. Like it was one of those like early internet things where you knew it was a thing, but here we didn't have the channel, so, and it was like it's just kind of like flew over us or under us or whatever.
Hmm.
So I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I have watched a little bit of it, and it seems funny. We just got the shows that we got on TV at that time for the 90s and early 2000s, and sometimes we got a show like really late, or we got like the
Oh,
nasty shows. Doc Gerbil, that's from looking up now. It's from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Um, we never really had that. For Dog Core, we had Cat Dog. Uh, we also had this other show called What a Mess. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't remember what a mess. What was that?
It was this show that we had that just looked kind of like garbage, and it was just about like it was kind of like an adaptation from children's books. So it was like aimed at like an early child kind of audience, and I watched a little bit. And we had it momentarily. It ran from 1995 to 1996.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah.
Oh, really? It ran from so it didn't run after 1996. You're saying?
Well, no, I mean it probably had like reruns, but
Oh.
it's a very short-lived show.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
okay. I know what you mean.
no, I don't. We didn't have. I
Ah,
know what
jeez.
Duckman is, but we didn't have Duckman. It's kind of weird that we're like in a time now where the internet is this universal thing, and shows just. What do you mean you can't get the show? Like that's what it's like. That's kind of like how it is. Like there's anything you can just watch whatever show now. Like there's
Hmm.
no. It's interesting. It's interesting. Like kids now can just like watch whatever, and you at conventions you'll see like kids who are like 10 trying to talk to like the actors from the show from 30 seasons ago, and like how do you know these people? Well, on Netflix they have every season. Oh,
Oh God.
when I was a kid you had to start watching in the middle of the last season, and well, that's what you got. And sometimes the show would just loop back around because they didn't get the rights to do the rest.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Didn't when Dragon Ball Z was running, didn't they like take a break when the summer came and just like air old episodes?
Yeah, I was so
I
they
remember
didn't
being
realize how much
disappointed about that.
they didn't understand how much that would fry the brain of a child.
Yeah.
Like because anime had a continuity to it. Like
Uh-huh.
I couldn't understand how shit was happening again. Like I didn't like it's not like a normal cartoon. Like it's you can't. Speaking of seasons, this my favorite guy's name. I love this name, Jendi Tartakovsky. We all know that guy. Is
Hmm.
doing well these last few years. He is first Primal and now Unicorn Warriors. I know people like that show Primal, but I never really watched it. Uh, in terms of Gendi Kino, uh, we have. Did he not do Dexter's Lab? Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. We had Dexter's Lab. We had Powerpuff Girls. We had Samurai Jack. Um, I'm not like I'm not in love with these shows, but I know they're like a big deal.
I remember like Samurai Jack sort of stood out for me because it was this weird kids show that had like an hour long for pilot or something,
Yeah,
and
it's
it was like it didn't have a lot of comedy. It was like mostly action, and like you never saw that kind of thing before that,
no, it was unusual for the time, and I
especially in
think
that
people
style.
I think people still really like it, but I'm not in love with the the Gendi
The Gendiverse.
the no like the geometry of the shows looks weird to me.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like these super flat characters that only look good from one angle. It's not really my thing.
mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
You're supposed to double jump the horizontal bullets, apparently.
Double jump.
I don't know. That's what he's saying.
Oh, whoops. Oh, jump over two of them at once. I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I guess that's what he meant.
Well, just because you mentioned that, I'm gonna not do that, and I'm gonna parry them all instead.
That's right. We're gonna do Street Fighter 3 style.
Mhm.
You have to in Street Fighter 3. You have to parry every time the attack connects. So you actually have to know how many hits an enemy's attack is. and sometimes there's gaps, and you have to know that too. That's so weird. And you can parry like anything that has multiple hits. It's so crazy. So if this attack is going to hit 15 times, stop for 2 seconds, and then hit another 3. You have to like do all that.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I fought this boss, it just sort of happened. Like I never had a strategy for it. But now I'm having trouble for some reason. I guess like I am using a different controller. Like I'm using the 8-bit though SN30 that looks like a SNES controller.
Yeah.
Like the clone controller instead of the new one with the handles. And the D-pad's slightly worse. That's why I keep doing like ground pounds. I could turn that off too, I guess, but it's fine. Ooh. Jeez. A lot of HP on this thing. Ooh. Come on. There you go.
I got Star Ocean: The Divine Force like 3 days ago. I'm still trying to patch it. That game needed an 18 gigabyte patch.
Oh.
put the game in. And I was so excited because it didn't install that much data. I was like, oh wow, we're gonna get to play this fast. Let's go.
Hmm.
And then it's like, oh no, we need an 18 gigabyte patch. And knowing games now, if you try to play without that patch, it's gonna have some game breaking bug. So you have to get it. So it
Yeah.
completely utterly breaks the the future collectors market when they
Hmm.
buy this game to play it and they can't get the patch that fixes the game so it makes it beatable. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's
that
gonna be
game
so fun
looks
when you can't get any patches anymore.
that game looks interesting too.
Yeah, it doesn't review highly,
Hmm.
but that's starting to not bother me that much anymore with games.
It's it's
Uh,
not bothering it's not bothering you if the game is shit.
like
It's
I don't
just
know.
not a it's not a factor anymore.
I got I got it for $40. Um, and I don't know if I trust people's opinions on the series anyway, because the one that used to review the worst was my favorite. So I don't know. So we'll see how this game is. But yeah, I got it, and it's just like, well, my internet is so third worldy that it takes like it takes long enough to get an 18 gigabyte patch that I have to pause it to do something else because while it's downloading, I can't do anything else. So I have to also manage other stuff with the internet, like uploading things, and I can't afford to download all the time. So I'll turn on the PS5, go do something for a few hours, come back to find it only downloaded like 7%. Oh, okay. A few more days, we'll have it done. Will you play Boundary, the FPS? Well, let's see
Boundary.
what that game is.
I've
Let's
never
see
heard of
what
that.
that game is. Let's see that game. Uh,
Get out of here.
Boundary is a multiplayer tactical space-based shooter game engaging in a fierce team versus team zero gravity firefights. It sounds amazing.
Oh.
It looks amazing. Um, let's see the requirements, shall we? Oh, system requirements: AMD FX 6300. It only needs 8 gigabytes of RAM. 1060, 6 gigabyte. Okay, I don't quite have the VRAM. 30 gigabyte space. It's not actually that heavy of a game. It's surprisingly not that intensive, even though it looks incredible. It seems, is it really well optimized, or has this, you can just set the mode really low? It looks really cool. I don't know. I don't really play. I tend not to play these multiplayer FPS games unless they're like Team Fortress, but it looks insane, and I do like sci-fi shit. I don't know. Yeah, you were there watching me play Children of a Dead Earth. Yeah, that's the type of hardcore sci-fi I like. I like very hard to figure out physics sci-fi games like that. I played that for like over 100 some hours. I like Children of a Dead Earth a lot. Like nothing else seems to be quite as good as that for some reason. I keep trying to find things and they're not quite as good as that. Even though that game, it looks like garbage, but it plays interesting and cool. And you get to design your own ships and stuff. And you get to design things to the point eventually where you have to design your own nuclear reactor that has to work. And
I know what you're
stuff like
talking
that.
about now, yeah.
Yeah, Children of a Dead Earth.
Yeah, the one that does indeed look like shit.
Code, COADE or whatever, but it's so hard that the AI will sometimes screw up and kill itself. It's so hard to figure out. Like one of the last missions, one of the really hard missions, I beat it by tricking the AI into like going into the atmosphere of Uranus or Neptune or something and killing itself. And I just somehow won at the last possible second because I survived it.
Try that again, bastard. Come on. Ah! Never mind. So this was supposed to have a lot of playable characters too, but they just kind of kept Gustavo's his name, and like this is the only other playable character, and he's kind of locked to a couple of specific stages. It's kind of like I wonder what it would be like if they if there were like maybe you could pick Gustavo or somebody else like in the beginning. It seems kind of like his gameplay is so different and he's much slower, so maybe it wouldn't have worked out. Maybe
Yeah, it could have
it's
been
just
one of
for the
those
best.
things. It could have been one of those things where in playtesting you realize that it would take too much work to redesign things to work for both him and Pepino or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like this game is like a character's abilities are actually really tied to the level that they're in video games. People don't understand that usually. Like the game actually has to like work for that character's skill set, and that's actually really hard to design. It's really hard to design a game that can play the same level with multiple characters and have it work and not feel bland. The more characters you can use with different abilities in a stage, the blander the stage has to be in a weird way. So it's kind of, he probably just realized that it's better just to stick to the one guy. It's more fun that way.
They cut a lot out. Like you'd be surprised. Cause like
I don't know if the game suffers for not having this guy all the time, but maybe
I don't think so.
Eventually it'll work.
Like I think like what they did was they had a good idea. Instead of bogging it down with different ideas, they just stuck to like the Wario speedrunning. And I mean it's just like it's got like it never stops. Like it's just like the pacing is crazy. Oh. It was like one of the I think it was the first demo. I was looking at a playthrough of it, and it was like one level that took like half an hour, and you had to like these little guys that are following me. You have to collect those in the level, and they weren't optional. You had to collect them, and then you'd get to the end. You that big pillar that you break to start the escape sequence, that was originally like a guy that you needed to feed these ingredients.
Yeah.
And then he would like I forget how it went. Like either he would start the escape sequence or you'd have to go back to another spot to start the escape sequence, and it was very slow. Like as I said, like I don't think it's something I would have actually played. So it's cool to see like somebody learn their craft as they're developing their product,
as opposed to just shitting out something that's no good.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Cost a lot of money, and there was 400 people involved in developing it, and no one said this sucks because they're all just trying to get paid to go home that day. That shit.
And I'm sure
they're all just trying to go home.
And I'm sure like lots of the people that were playing that demo thought, this definitely needs some work. It has some promise. It looks all right, but you're gonna have to fix this and that. Maybe make it a little more focused.
Imagine being at Arcane and like, your game sucks, and it's just like whatever. Let's just
I can't do anything about it.
You're just trying to get paid. Like I feel bad for developers who end up in like a large company developing this game, and there's this like palpable energy amongst them where they know this game sucks, but they're doing it anyway, and no one wants to say anything.
I'm missing something? Oh,
so you just keep it making up a bunch of lies at the investors meetings about how great it is, and it sucks. It's whatever. Let's just freaking do it. We're just freaking making the game. We're just getting paid, like Anthem Remember that?
Uh-huh.
BioWare just as soon as BioWare, I don't know who bought them. I can't remember, but they just used to, like story developers whose title starts with a B, like Blizzard. They just these
Whoa.
once genre-defining, trend-setting developers just end up creating bloated messes like Anthem.
Yeah.
Anthem will never not be funny to me. Like it's just I've never seen something so derivative, so just mired in trends of the day, fail so hard, and then the freaking scoops on that game after it came out, revealing the development history, where they would go to E3 after E3 after E3 with a playable demo that was made for E3 that is not
Mhm.
reflective of anything.
Yeah.
It's just a we just made this movie to show at
Uh-huh.
E3, and
Yeah,
the game is nothing.
they probably wasted a lot of dev time on just demos for E3.
Ah. Just it was so funny to me that the funniest thing about Anthem was that they because it had to have every feature of everything. It was like this online arena adventure RPG, just everything, right? So it has the online stuff, and so during Christmas there was Christmas decorations up, and they forgot them up until February.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
There was an arm wrestling championship 3 days ago. It was amazing. Well, I have no idea about that.
Arm Wrestling Championship.
I have no idea. I'm sure. I hope nobody broke an arm. We'll say that.
Maybe. I mean, it's more likely when it's like a professional sport.
Do you think for arm wrestling, before they go out on stage, do their arm wrestling demonstration or whatever they do, they say break an arm instead of break a leg?
I wonder, do people get caught wearing like invisible splints? Like oh, you
Okay.
have like an iron bar hidden in your underneath your sleeve, which is preventing your arm from breaking, and it would have just demolished your arm if you didn't have that.
I just typed this into Google: East versus West arm wrestling.
Uh huh.
The biggest arm wrestling event starts in. I don't know. All right. Holy crap! Is this dropped? Like some of these guys' arms are enormous. They're cartoonishly big. Some of these guys' arms.
Oh yeah.
Shit. Wow. Now, what they should do is legalize exoskeletons, and to see how crazy it really gets. I've always wondered about. I know we talk about this a lot. The idea of making sports interesting again by allowing anything. Like we're just gonna allow drugs. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And you end up with a soccer player who is like his eyes are sunken so far back into his head, and his body is nothing but veins, and he can kick the ball until it explodes. Yeah,
Listen,
that's right.
listen.
Now this is sport.
You gotta watch Megalobox. That's exactly what
Yeah.
you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
it's boxing where they're allowed to use prosthetics, and the players are owned by companies, by tech companies,
Oh,
and they
sounds
produce.
amazing.
They're also they're also advertising their product, right? And then
Mm.
there's this one guy, the protagonist, who decides not to use one, and he's the only player in the world who doesn't use prosthetics.
Oh my god. It's like when you play Metal Gear Rising and you kill Jetstream Sam and Raiden says he barely had any augments.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
And then Raiden's like, well, maybe I should have just embraced the pain all along.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think,
Turn off the pain inhibitors.
yeah. Well, wasn't that after or before
I can't
the Sam
remember.
fight though?
I don't remember, but it's interesting that they go hand in hand,
Yeah,
like thematically. The idea of just going up against robots with just just your own muscle and trying to beat them, and in Sam's case, and then in Raiden's case, just turning back on your ability to feel pain.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and in Megalobox, the final opponent is this like, you know in sports manga and stuff, there's that one guy that's just emotionless, and
Yes,
he's
I know.
he's like a slave to his company, and he's using the latest tech that's up until then, like, they never actually embedded the technology into your skin, but his are installed in a way that can't be removed, and that was the
Oh my
thing with
God.
that.
Check out Levan versus Hermes, which I just did, and I'm looking at their arms, and all I can think of is that if you took the arm, just the forearm, and you cropped out everything else, and you could just paint it, like you could like do the fill tool on it, maybe a low opacity red. You'd think you had like a freaking buffalo chicken wing there. Their arms are so cartoonishly shaped that it just looks like a big chicken wing.
Awesome.
So frankly, I'm looking at Levan versus Hermes here, and I'm getting hungry for wings. Allow AI synthesized drugs tailor-made to your specific DNA. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We should encourage dangerous drugs and
Yeah.
dangerous technology. Absolutely.
It's like you know, it's this appeal to nature argument that it's not natural, so you shouldn't use it. But you know what? Who has created these drugs but humans? Right?
That's right. I know. That's right. So we should have like at the Olympics next year. We should have sports beer.
Yeah, just get everyone drunk so they go full strength without understanding like the damage to their own body.
Imagine just like the Olympics being sponsored by Budweiser, and now all the drinks are like alcoholic sports beer. But it's okay. It's sports beer. It's better.
It's sports beer.
It's
Yeah,
like
it has
it's
electrolytes.
beer with electrolytes. We said that at the exact same time.
I know.
So it has what the body needs. We're good. Don't worry about it. You'll be a little drunk, but it'll be better that way. It's a spectator sport anyway, so don't worry about it.
Oh.
I know in our long periods of time talking about nothing, we also invented a sport where we invented a hypothetical future sport where an entire planet is devoted to the sport. It's a small planet, and what happens is a giant metal ball appears at the North Pole, and you have to get it to the South Pole. Remember that?
Yes,
And
yes.
you're allowed to take whatever you can fit in the backpack, and you're allowed to team up. You're allowed to do whatever. It's like Big Brother. You're allowed to trick each other. You're allowed to whatever. But you have to be the last person to touch the ball before it goes in the hole at the South Pole. And the planet is infested by like violent marauders and ruffians and scavengers and shit and other creatures. Sounds like a fun sport. Try that.
Yeah,
It'd be fun.
there aren't enough there aren't enough sports that take place across like a large space with like where they don't actually, it isn't engineered in any way. They just leave everything as is. So like if you encounter a bear on the way, then that's just part of the game.
Yeah, it's just part of soccer. If you happen to encounter a wild coyote that's trying to kill you,
Yeah,
it's part of the game.
exactly.
Get used to it.
Well, that's how it should be.
Hey, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Hmm.
I've been playing this game for years. I've won 10 games. Get used to it. Some veteran world ball player or whatever.
What was the point of that?
Yeah, I play world ball. I've survived 10 world ball games, and he's just all scarred and rough looking and has so many patches on his body. And I survived 10 world ball games. I didn't win. I survived. I didn't die. Trying to get this massive metal ball from the North Pole to the South Pole that weighs 400 pounds and will often accidentally roll into a valley.
Oh
And
man.
you have to figure out how to get it. very common for it to just roll into a valley and you just frig and you have to get it out.
I'm worried that
It forces you. You have to work together. You have to make allegiances with people in order to get it out.
You joke.
And everybody.
You joke, but I'm worried that that's what Tears of the Kingdom is going to be like.
Oh God, I'm worried
The
about
physics
that game.
puzzles.
I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it. I don't know. I saw it leak and it looks exactly like Breath of the Wild, and I don't love that game. So I'm a little scared, but we'll see.
Oh, it's going to be like Breath of the Wild. Don't expect it not to be. I mean, it's a sequel.
I don't know. I want things. I want the plot to be occurring now. Is that so hard? And I want like, dungeons. But
Yeah,
I've been side-eyeing some leaks, and I'm not super enthused. Just the fact that I'm looking at these leaks and I can't tell which game it is, if it's Breath of the Wild or not, has kind of got me a little bit worried. Like, you can't do that with Majora's Mask. One screenshot from Majora's Mask, and it's obvious Ocarina of Time.
It's not really surprising though, right? Because it uses the same world.
Yeah, it uses. It's not just the same assets. It's
like a
world.
It's not like Majora's Mask. It's more like
That's right.
Galaxy 2.
Yeah.
It's just the same. Like, I mean, it's less likely. My point is, it's less likely that they're going to change much. I do want them to add some dungeons, but
the problem is we all played Elden Ring. That's the problem.
That does
you can have
damage
dungeons.
the hype a little bit. Yeah.
We know now you can have dungeons, you can have open world, you can have weapons that don't break, you can have meaningful gear that you can find. We know now that you can do that, and now Nintendo has to come back second fiddle and actually try to get us to play Breath of the Wild again when we've all played Elden Ring and we know better. That's what's so sad about it. Like, Breath of the Wild, why play that when I can play Elden Ring and have a huge world, meaningful dungeons, meaningful items, and no weapon durability?
Oh, here's the golf level.
What would be the point? Like, funny physics shit. Oh man, that's awesome. It's like Gmod from 20 years ago. Oh,
well,
cool. Oh my god, the funny's back. Here comes the funny. Yeah. Dude, funny is back.
Funny returns. That should be the subtitle. Funny
Tears
returns.
of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda: The Funny Returns. Actually, imagine if Tears of the Kingdom was actually just called Legend of Zelda Returns. With no the at the beginning.
Legend of Zelda Returns. Yeah.
We had Donkey Kong Country Returns, where his country returned. So I think the Legend of Zelda could return. The legend couldn't return. Zelda: The Legend Returns.
Yeah, well, the return of the country, now the return of the legend.
Super Mario World Returns. I'd buy that, like right now. If Nintendo announced the sequel to Mario World that wasn't Yoshi's Island and just looked and worked exactly like World, but had just new stages. Oh my god, let's go.
That would be great.
Yeah, well, World already discovered the perfect platformer engine. So
yeah,
just make
and
more
then they ditched it immediately and went back to like some combination of Mario 3 and Mario 1.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you're kind of where it feels like Mario weighs like, well, he probably does weigh 100 pounds, but it feels like he has friction.
I know.
His legs have trouble moving.
It sucks when you play Mario World and then play any new Mario game, and it's just like, wow.
Oh,
dude.
this one. Okay.
Like Mario from Mario World feels like he's so athletic, he's so fast, and he stops on a dime, and he's so responsive. And then you play New Super Mario Bros. Shit, and it's just like Mario's drunk and the world's made of ice.
Yeah.
It's horrible. One Goomba poses a threat now because you can't quite perfectly get the physics right.
Yeah. Like Mario World was the original Meat Boy in a way, because
it was. Yeah.
They were able to make these insane ROM hacks and with like level design that doesn't seem like it should be possible.
The
but
only reason
the
you can do
controls are
that
so
is because the
tight.
controls so well. Yeah, if the controls are bad, you'd never be able to do that. I'm so upset that the Mario Maker games don't use World, as it's physics based.
Yeah, it's not
That was
that
so
bad.
annoying to me.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's like you had the perfect controls.
Yeah, I know. What's sad about it is if you're making Mario Maker, you're not making another Mario game. You're making a standard, right? That's
Yeah.
supposed if you're making that, you're setting a standard, right? So when you set the standard that isn't Mario World, you're teaching people the wrong lessons. Like that's what's the problem. That's what the problem is. Even if it's 90% to Mario World, it's still not. It's not the standard, right? That's why I was upset by that. Like, because you're now setting the standard for Zoomers who discover Mario Maker on TikTok or wherever the hell, and they think that's how it's supposed to control, and it's only like pretty good. Like it's not perfect.
This guy just loves this. He's having a time of his life. Look at him.
Yeah,
Primal
enemies in
Berg.
Warrior games always just kind of were there to get pounded on by Wario like they liked it or something.
Yeah, that's the best thing, really. Like, how Wario is just a bad guy, and that's sort of reflected in the game.
Enemies aren't there to hurt you; they're there to be hurt.
Yeah, yeah. That's why they didn't give him life, or that's why they didn't give him HP. Cause like, he's the boss. Wario's the boss from like Mario Land 2. So why is he getting his shit kicked in? And this is his domain. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that Wario Land should have been Wario's domain.
Wario's domain. Well, Wario does have a world too.
I know.
He
But he doesn't
has
have
his
country.
own world. He doesn't
Where's
have a
Wario
country. He doesn't have a country. Maybe someday.
Just imagine waking up tomorrow and Nintendo's announced Wario Country. How cool that would be. Like Retro Studios' next game after Metroid Prime 4 is Wario Country. Oh my god. And it's exclusive to the new Nintendo console. Wario Country from Retro Studios on the Switch too. Let's go.
Uh-oh. Ah. I guess the funny was back with Wario all along. Because he was the original fun. He brought the original funny. Not a lot of people want to admit it, but it's true.
2025, funny is back. Wario Country, sorry. The funny is back. 2025, Switch to Wario Country.
Time to get funny.
1 second, I'll be right back.
Okay. Damn it, don't do that. I hate this sort of nose suction. God damn. Oh, there you go. Not like that. Come on. Nope, not like that. Come on. Go. There you go. Nice nachos.
I gotta go right now.
Oh yeah?
But I know you can keep playing if you want to.
Yeah,
I've already in 2 hours.
I'll get wrapped up.
Okay.
I'll
Alright.
get this guy to his destination. And then we'll be good.
Yeah, I'll see you later.
Alright then, see ya. Oh. Ooh, dang, that was bad. Okay. Okay. Alright, well, that's the gist of it. That was Pizza Tower. Be sure to check it out when it inevitably comes out on the Switch. It's a Game Maker game, so it's only a matter of time. Alright, see you later.